Hello everyone. Today I'll be solving VTU-ETR Ph.D. paper 2025 version C. Let's get started with research methodology. Question 1. What does analysis of variance primarily stand for? ANOVA is a statistical method used to compare means of 3 or more groups. So the answer is A. Difference in means across multiple groups. Question 2. What is the main difference between one-way and two-way ANOVA? One-way ANOVA examines one independent variable, whereas two-way examines two independent variables. So the answer is B. Question 3. In Latin square design, how are the treatments arranged? In Latin square design, the treatments appears exactly once in each row and each column. So the answer is B. Question 4. What is F ratio in ANOVA? F ratio is nothing but variance between groups to variance within groups. So the answer is A, the ratio of between group variance to within group variance. Question 5. Which of the following is not an assumption of ANOVA? The answer is C, equal sample sizes in all groups, because this is not a strict assumption. Question 6. Which of the following is a key characteristic of dependent and independent variables in linear regression? In linear regression, independent variable is the predictor and dependent variable is the outcome that is being predicted. So the answer is A. Question 7. What problem arises when independent variables in a multiple regression model are highly correlated with each other? When they are highly correlated, it makes it difficult to determine the individual effect of each variable. This can lead to errors. So the answer is multi-collinearity. Next question. Which of the following is an example of qualitative explanatory variable in regression analysis? Qualitative variables represent categories without numerical data. So out of all the options, the correct answer is D, type of education. Question 9. What is the primary purpose of factor analysis? Factor analysis identifies hidden relationships between variables by grouping them into factors. So the correct option is B, to reduce the number of variables by identifying underlying factors. Question 10. Which of the following is a key difference between R-type and Q-type factor analysis? R-type examines correlations among variables, whereas Q-type analyzes correlation among individuals. So the answer is C. Question 11. What is the main objective of applied research? Applied research aims to address real-world issues. So the answer here is B, solve specific practical problems. Question 12. Which of the following step is not a part of research process? It is very easy to identify. The answer is avoiding data collection. Data collection is essential for any research. 13. Which of the following is not a characteristic of good research? The answer is B, based on subjective interpretation. A good research should always be systematic, objective, and based on evidence rather than personal opinion. Question 14. Why is it necessary to define a research problem clearly? The answer to this is C, because it guides the research problem, it focuses, it helps to set objectives, formulate hypotheses. Question 15. Which research approach combines both qualitative and quantitative method? The answer is mixed method research, because mixed method research integrates both qualitative and quantitative techniques. Question 16. What is the primary purpose of a literature review in research? A literature review helps to identify what has already been studied, it highlights the gaps, and it avoids duplication. So the answer is to identify gaps in existing knowledge. Question 17. Which of the following is not a feature of a good research design? A good research design minimizes bias to ensure accurate, reliable, and valid results. So the answer is D, bias in data collection. Question 18. Which of the following is a principle of experimental design? The answer is randomization. because randomization ensures that each participant has an equal chance of being assigned to any group. Question 19. What is conceptual framework? A conceptual framework outlines key concepts and the relationships between them. So the answer is B, a framework to explain concepts and relationships in research. 20. Which type of research design is best for studying cause and effect relationship? The answer is experimental design, as experimental design is ideal for determining cause and effect relationship as it controls external variables. 21. Which of the following best defines a random experiment? Random experiments yield unpredictable outcomes despite identical conditions. For example, rolling dice, flipping a coin. So the answer here is B. 22. The probability of occurrence of a single event, such as P of A or P of B, which takes a specific value irrespective of the value of other events, that is unconditioned on any other events, is called as marginal probability. Question 23. What is the probability mass function used to describe? PMF gives us the probability that a discrete random variable is exactly equal to some value. So the answer is A, the likelihood of each outcome in a discrete probability distribution. Question 24. What does axiom of probability PS of 1, PS is equal to 1 mean, where S is the sample space? The explanation for this is, the axiom states that the probability of all possible outcomes must be equal to 1 because one of the outcomes must occur. So the answer is C. Probability of sample space is 1. Question 25. Which of the following is true about a random variable? A random variable maps outcome of random processes to numerical values. For example, when you are rolling a die, the outcome out of 1 or 6 is a random variable representing the numbers on the dice. So the answer is B. It is a function that assigns a numerical value to each outcome in a sample space. 26. The binomial distribution is used to model which of the following? A binomial distribution applies when there are fixed number of trials, each trial has 2 outcomes, and the probability of success is constant. So according to the definition, the correct answer would be A. Question 27. Normal distribution is characterized by which of the following? Very easy. Normal distribution always has a symmetric bell-shaped curve. So the answer is B. 28. Under which conditions can binomial distribution be approximated by normal distribution? For this, the answer is C, when the probability of success is close to 0.5. 29. The Poisson distribution is typically used to model. The definition of Poisson distribution is it models rare events occurring independently in a fixed interval of time, space, or area. So the answer is B. 30. Hypergeometric distribution is used to model which of the following? The correct answer is B, the number of successes when the probability of success is constant across trials. 31. Which of the following is an example of non-sampling error? Non-sampling error occurs due to data collection issues like incomplete response, measurement errors, processing mistakes. So the answer here is C, errors due to incomplete response. Question 32. What is central limit theorem state? Central limit theorem is a statistical concept. It states that regardless of the population's distribution, the distribution of sample mean will approach normal distribution as the sample size increases. So the answer here is A. Question 33. What is standard error? Standard error is defined as the measurement of variability of sample means around population mean. So the answer is B. 34. What is the main goal of statistical inference? Statistical inference involves making conclusions about a population using data from a sample. So the answer here is D, to make predictions about the population based on sample. Question 35. What is sampling distribution? Sampling distribution is the probability distribution of a statistic based on all possible samples of the same size from the population. So the answer is D. What does p-value represent in hypothesis testing? P-value measures the strength of evidence against null hypothesis. So the answer is B. Probability of observing the data if null hypothesis is true. 37. Which test is used to compare the means of two independent samples? The answer is two-sample test. Two-sample t-test, because two-sample t-test compares the means of two independent groups to determine if there is a statistically significant difference between them. 38. What does chi-square goodness of fit test evaluate? Chi-test goodness of fit test checks if the observed frequency distribution matches an expected distribution. So the answer is B, whether observed data follows a specific distribution. 39. Which hypothesis test is used to compare variance of two populations? The answer is F-test, because F-test compares variance of two populations to determine if they are significantly different. Question 40. What is null hypothesis? Null hypothesis assumes no effect, no difference, or no relationship between variables. So answer is B. It states that there is no significant effect or relationship. 41. Type 1 error occurs if, so type 1 error is also known as false positive. It happens when we incorrectly reject a true null hypothesis. So the answer is A. Null hypothesis is rejected even if it is true. 42. Which is a preferred sampling method for the population of a finite size? The option here is A. Systematic sampling, because it selects every kth element from a list after a random starting point. Question 43. Which of the following is a probability sampling method? Out of all the options, the correct option is stratified, because all the others are non-probability sampling methods. Stratified random sampling is where the population is divided into subgroups or strata, and random samples are drawn from each strata. 44. Which classification of measurement scale represents ordered categories but does not have a true 0 point? The answer to this is B, ordinal scale, because ordinal scale represents data with meaningful order but without equal intervals or a true 0. Question 45. Which method is most suitable for collecting primary data when studying behavior over time? Answer is longitudinal survey. A longitudinal survey collects data from the same subjects repeatedly over time. Question 46. Which of the following is not a step in data preparation process? Data preparation involves steps like editing, coding, transcribing. So out of all this, data collection is the right answer. 47. What type of analysis focuses on summarizing the data collected? Descriptive analysis is the correct answer, because descriptive analysis summarizes the data using measures of central tendency and measures of dispersion. Question 48. Which measure of central tendency is best suited for categorical data? The answer here is C, mode. Mode represents the most frequent occurring value in a data set, making it ideal for categorical data. Question 49. What does skewness measure in a data set? The definition of skewness is skewness quantifies the asymmetry of a data distribution. So the answer is D, the symmetry of data distribution. 50. What is the correlation coefficient used to measure? Correlation coefficient measures the strength and direction of a linear relationship between two variables. So the correct answer is B, relationship between two variables. Hope this was helpful. Thank you.